Good morning, Cardano community. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to give you guys some updates about the development and the growth of the Cardano ecosystem. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be DJED. As you guys are well aware, we just saw the official launch of this over-collateralized stablecoin on the Cardano mainnet. Now, since then, we've seen it list on Bitrue, which is going to be a centralized exchange supporting the trading of DJED and SHEN, as well as their staking feature. Now, after that, I want to talk about the TVL on Cardano, as well as WingRiders, who has officially launched their StableSwap feature on the main net. In closing of today's video, I want to highlight an update from the SundaeSwap team related to their on-chain governance efforts. And then at the end of this video, we're going to wrap up by talking about Minswap's monthly stats. Now, before we jump into today's content, I do want to mention that I am a single stake pool operator. And so if you guys are looking to contribute to my efforts in contributing to the education and growth of the Cardano ecosystem, then please consider staking with the official dApp Central stake pool, which is going to be stake pool ticker DAPP. I thank you guys very much. All right, let's go ahead and jump straight into today's content. So let me share my screen with you guys here. The first item I want to talk about for today's video is the fact that DJED and SHEN are now available for trading on Bitrue, which is going to be a centralized exchange dealing with Cardano native assets. So as it states here, Bitrue will list DJED and SHEN. Trading will open for both of these pairs using the USDT trading pair at 10 a.m. UTC. So if I jump over into the official Bitrue website, we can see here that I've already searched for DJED and I've actually selected that here. So we're looking at the price action for DJED with a 5-minute candle. And so as we can see here, this just listed no more than just a few hours ago. And then very similarly, if I type in SHEN here, we should be able to see that this is now available for trading again. So this only adds to the exposure of this particular token to the broader community. Obviously, as you guys are aware, I released a separate video highlighting the fact that you can pick up DJED and SHEN on other dexes within the Cardano ecosystem, including WingRiders, Minswap, and MuesliSwap. Now, that's going to be the first topic for today. Moving along, I want to highlight the fact that we now have DJED included on DeFi Llama when it comes to the total value locked for Cardano. And so as we can see here, we have over $10 million officially locked in to the DJED protocol. And so with that said, that's going to raise the total TVL for Cardano to a total of 91 million. Now we are back to where we were at about September of last year, and that's a really good change. Over the course of the last 24 hours, again, given the fact that we just had DJED launch, we do have a 21% gain in terms of the total TVL, with Minswap having over 34% of the dominance. Now in closing here, I did want to jump over to the official DJED website. However, I'm not connected to my VPN right now, but I did want to highlight that DJED currently has over, I want to say 25 million ADA currently locked in their reserves. So we are seeing a huge amount of adoption. We have over 1.5 million of the actual DJED tokens actively minted and circulating on the network. So that's going to be the first topic. And then in closing of that, I want to move over and talk about WingRiders. So WingRiders, as you guys may or may not be aware, has had a few different changes go live on their mainnet over the course of the last few days. The first was the official on-chain governance module that they just released, which allows for the community to now begin voting for proposals directly on their website. Now, this is all going to be done on-chain, and on the heels of that, we officially have their StableSwap feature going live on the mainnet as well. So two pretty big updates coming in from the WingRiders team. Now it says here, stablecoin pools are now live. You can find these three pairs on the platform now. So that's DJED, SHEN, and DJED versus IUSD. So the stable pool feature, or the stable swap feature, I should say, allows for an equal exchange of two assets of the same exact value. Now, moving forward, we could probably expect to see additional stable swap pools being opened for other stable coins that come onto the market, which would include USDA, USDC, USDT, and potentially DAI. Now, I'm giving those particular stable coins because that is what we saw on their actual testnet. But again, those are not stable coins that are native to the Cardano ecosystem, with the exception of USDA. So I did want to be clear about that. Now I'm going to quickly just jump over into the official WingRiders website. So as we can see here, we have one listed here. Again, this is going to be the DJED and IUSD trading pair. And so if you hold DJED and you want to swap that out for IUSD, which is going to be the stable coin created and backed by the Indigo protocol, then you can quickly and easily do that using the StableSwap feature. Again, this is going to provide a low impact and a low slippage when actually making those trades, while also being able to support larger trades by whales. Now, I do also want to mention that right now this liquidity is sitting at about 1 million US dollars with no official base price. And so it does look like the liquidity has increased since the initial launch of this. This launched about 24 hours ago, and I did take a look at that when it actually launched, and it was a much lower liquidity. So I'm really happy to see that people are contributing to these liquidity pools and they're able to earn a little bit, which is also listed right here. That is going to wrap it up for that brief update. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be SundaeSwap. And they also have some on-chain governance updates that I want to discuss as well. Now, if you guys have not heard of SundaeSwap, they're going to be one of the first AMM DEXs to launch on Cardano. And if I'm not mistaken, MuesliSwap was the first order book style DEX to launch on the network. Having said that, we have seen a recent update regarding a voting mechanism being developed by the SundaeSwap team that additional projects can also leverage. So I'm going to quickly break down a few sections of this article, and then we're going to turn it over into the last topic of today's video. Now it reads here, it's been 6 months since our governance beta launch on the testnet. And since then, we've been working hard towards our formal governance portal launch to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the SundaeSwap protocol. We have a ton of people to thank in helping us get here, and we couldn't have done it without our partners and all the wonderful people that have helped us with the testing and feedback to help make the technology something special. Now, providing a little bit more background, in July of 2022, we launched our first public instance of our off-chain Validium-inspired secure governance solution on Cardano by taking a vote for the best ice cream flavors. Since then, the team has learned that many companies operating within the space simply would not have access to the resources necessary to build their own voting system. So the SundaeSwap team has worked to make their solution malleable enough to support other projects. Now, fast forward to today. We're proud to say that the governance technology we are launching is the same technology powering the governance portals for NMKR, Discoin, Noom, and that also which powered the voting that took place leading up to the Cardano Summit. So they've already got a lot of buy-in from pretty big projects, including NMKR and Noom, which is going to be a decentralized music platform building on Cardano. And again, it looks like this was also used for the voting process leading up into the Cardano Summit. So it has definitely been tested. Hopefully it's been hardened by now. And again, it does look like the SundaeSwap team is open to sharing their solution in order to aid other projects that could benefit from this here. Now, if you're wondering what exactly makes this particular governance or on-chain voting solution different, let me go ahead and read this paragraph, and I hope it'll excite you as much as it did me. So it reads here, the solution we've built is a custom layer 2 Validium solution. This means we publish a commitment to the votes we've seen on layer 1 Cardano in a way that allows us to present a cryptographic proof that your vote is included in this commitment. The benefit of this is that it generates zero fees for the end user, and then votes will still be signed by the user's wallet, but they don't translate into a transaction directly on chain. Instead, they get included in the next Merkle tree root, where users can then verify for themselves that their vote has been included. Now, I know that that was a little bit technical there, but just kind of taking the main points out of that, it looks like you will still be able to vote without actually incurring any fees, which that's number one, because if you have a vote that, comes in with maybe hundreds of thousands of people actually voting, you could imagine that the total amount of fees being spent in order to vote could be a great number. Second, there's going to be a way to actually verify that your vote is getting counted on chain. So shout out to the SundaeSwap team for what they're building. And again, the fact that they're willing to share this solution that's already been tested with some of these other top projects within the ecosystem has me feeling really good. In closing, we're going to talk about Minswap here. So what I want to do now is quickly take a look at some of the key highlights or the key stats released by the Minswap team to highlight their progress over this last month, which was January. Starting from the top left-hand side, we have the total value locked, which is currently sitting at about 81.36 million ADA, and that's actually going to be down over 10% in this last month. Now, when it comes to the trading volume, they just hit an all-time high, which has been 100 million ADA traded over the course of the last 30 days. Now, this is up over 53%. So this team or this DEX has been getting a lot of attention, and this translates to roughly $37 million USD being traded on this DEX. So it comes as no surprise as to why they're the #1 DEX, again, in terms of liquidity and trading action. Moving along, we have a total of about 17,000 unique active vaults that have interacted with this DEX, and that is also up over 19% or about 20% in this last month. Now, when it comes to the top tokens, we have AGIX, or the Singularity Net token. And as you guys can imagine, this was an AI token, which saw, I believe, about 5 to 10x pump over the course of the last month. So it's no surprise to me that this is #1 by over 2x of #2. Coming in at #2, we have the World Mobile Token, and this team has been doing a lot in terms of updating the community as well. And we recently saw the recent launch of the Earth Node NFTs, which probably contributed to some of this token activity here as well. Coming in at #3, we have Meld, which is going to be a DeFi and lending platform, and they recently launched on the testnet as well. And we did see a big rally as a part of their 25 Days of Meld announcements, which took place earlier in December. In closing, we have the Society token. So of the 4, we only have 1 NFT based token. Now, granted, a lot of NFT projects don't necessarily have tokens associated with them, but the fact that we have the Society token here does seem to be pretty impressive. They also list some of their highest APR farms, with the Indy, AGIX, Makasi, and the ADA Greens, or the Greens token, being the highest farms available right now. In terms of the Min circulating supply, which is the governance token for the Minswap protocol, that's currently sitting at 654 million, which is about 13% of the total supply. And then when it comes to the daily emissions, if you're providing liquidity, they're emitting about 670,000 Min tokens per day. In closing, I just want to quickly highlight the fact that their DAO treasury currently holds over $4 million worth of the ADA/Min pair. They also hold over $55,000 worth of the ADA/Indy pair, and then they hold over $39,000 worth of the ADA and Makosi token pair. Again, I will leave the link to this down in the description below, but shout out to the Minswap team again for continuing to build and for continuing to lead the DEX space. That is going to do it for today's update. I just wanted to keep this one pretty short and sweet. Hopefully you guys found this one to be helpful. In today's video, we talked about DJED being listed on Bitrue, as well as being listed on DeFi Llama. We then talked about WingRiders and their StableSwap feature being launched on the mainnet. And then we wrapped up by talking about SundaeSwap's governance feature or governance update and the review of the Minswap monthly stats. If you guys found this video to be helpful, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me about anything that I talked about today, then make sure to leave a comment down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening, depending on where and when you're watching this from. I will see you guys in the next video.